Welcome to King Lizzard on Xbox One with Black Ops 3 multiplayer from the beta that was around about a month ago now, I think, maybe a little bit longer. So it's taken me a while to get this video up. I just wanted to do some brief editing just to show a few clips. I'll be honest, this is a map called Combine. Quite a nice looking map. Graphics look pretty pristine, pretty crisp. You know, games never look better. The weapons as well felt pretty good, I felt. You know, the reloads, and they felt pretty active. It kind of felt like you were holding a weapon playing the game. Some quite interesting weapons in there as well. Obviously, as it's the beta, I only got to see some of the lower end weapons. I didn't spend huge amounts of time in beta, but I did spend about 4 hours or so. But what I found was that I generally kept getting chucked constantly into hunted. You know, 5 times in a row. I think at one point I ended up in the hunted map for some strange reason. But probably because of switching lobbies and stuff, I guess. But it is very much like Advanced Warfare in respect that obviously it's futuristic. You do have the jumping mechs and stuff. It's not everyone's taste. If you didn't like Advanced Warfare, chances are you're not going to like this either. Me personally, I've never been a huge fan of Black Ops as Call of Duty. I've always been a fan of the Modern Warfare games personally. But that said, if you like Black Ops and you're used to the Call of Duties in general, if especially you liked Advanced Warfare, you'll like this game. So this is the other map I got to play, which was a map called Stronghold, and very sort of snow-based map. It was interesting. You know, you kind of had sniping areas, you had a bit of CQB areas, you could run around close quarters and stuff. Yeah, it was quite a mixed up map really. It was quite a decent looking map. There's a lot of open areas here where you can get yourself into trouble as well. But it looked pretty nice again. You know, it was a different map entirely. Probably my least favourite of the 3 maps that I played during the night. But, you know, it's okay. It's not a bad map by any means. Obviously we've got the remote control bombs there, as you just saw, as in the previous Black Ops games. Now initially, obviously, you start out with things like shotguns, assault rifles, submachine guns. As I said, I do have quite a sort of limited choice of guns that I got to play during the beta because of the amount of time I did play. But I did find that the pace of the action in the game was reasonably quite quick. Some of the maps are quite large though, and I did spend a few maps. That was a good grenade from that guy. I did spend a few maps kind of running around trying to find people. But in general, most of the maps were quite good, that they kind of kept the action flowing between players. You still get the typical spawn issues. I mean, I had quite a few spawn kills on myself. You do have this very kind of Titanfall-esque run-along balls that you can do in this game as well. Sort of, again, if you like the jumping around in mechs, you know, the suits and stuff, you're probably going to get along with that stuff. If you hate that stuff, or you're not a great fan of it like me, you probably spend most of your time on the ground running around, but you'll also be at a bit of a disadvantage to those people that make the use of, obviously, those new powers. Some of the guys I played against in these lobbies were, you know, pretty shit hot at moving around and using those moves and getting them off, and they definitely have the advantage on the environment for the players. You can also do a grab onto the environment, where, you know, you kind of run alongside the building, you can hold on for a period of time, a bit like Titanfall as well, of course. You do the typical kill streaks, things like the, you know, the spotting of enemies and that kind of stuff that I saw. There are, I mean, one of the main new things in this game are the character classes. You have to forgive me because I can't remember what the characters are called, but you've got this bow and arrow character who has explosive bow and arrow, or arrows if you like. You also have another guy who has a chain gun as his special ability. There's another chap who uses grappling hooks to kind of kill you as he jumps down from above, a bit like a Titan really in Destiny, if you like, in some respects. But it's quite a mix of different classes, and obviously that's only 3 of the classes that I saw. I spent most of my time playing the bow and arrow based character, to be honest. I think the one thing they could really do, I mean, I know there are game modes where they do it anyway, but I think in general what they should probably do for this game is just take away the dots on the map. Maybe only when people are shooting do you see the dots, as opposed to just seeing the dots all the time, unless of course you get a perk or something. I think that would liven things up a little bit. Now this is the map called Hunted. This is probably my favourite map. It might be the reason why I played it so much, is because there's so many other people choosing it. But it's, you know, pretty impressive map. Looks really nice, and also it's got some interesting little areas in the level. This is one of the sort of favourite camping spots a lot of people stood to kill enemies off snipers and stuff. This is kind of the back end of the map now. River there, you can see in the background all that body of water. You can actually go under that and up into the building, which I'll show you a bit later in the video, which I thought was quite cool. That's quite a nice addition to the map. There's probably some other little secret areas as well, I suspect, that I haven't found in some of these maps, but this is the chain gun guy killing me off there. But you obviously got your rocket launcher. The thing I found with the rocket launchers, or at least the ones you initially get, they're not very accurate at all. They tend to kind of just spin off in a different direction to where you aim a lot of the time. They're not exactly reliable weapons for killing, if you like. So I've now got the Sparrow ready. This is my explosive arrows. And there's one kill with that explosive arrow. I probably won't get any more name on that. Probably cop it here. Copped it as expected. But you know, action is pretty crazy fast a lot of the time. I think that's one of the other issues though, is that you do die way too quick in these games a lot of the time. I mean, I know obviously the objective is killing people, but when you're on the receiving end of deaths from, you know, gunfire, a lot of the time it feels like, you know, split seconds passed and you're dead. It doesn't feel like you have much of a chance. And I also found there were quite a lot of weapons in this game. That was one of the specials, kind of this rocket fire that comes from the sky and blows the living crap out of the area. It's quite a cool looking weapon. It's not so good to be on the receiving end of it though, especially if you've got a whole team with you there. This is obviously one of the auto rifles I'm using here. I haven't in any way sped this up, by the way. This is actually the speed of the game as you play it. So it is quite a fast-paced shooter, as you can see. And the maps, you know, do generally cater for fast action, like I was saying before. So in this building we've got quite a few different little nooks and crannies we can go through. Chuck a grenade out, see if I can pin these guys down. Managed to get a kill through cover there. To the left of me here there's a room where a lot of people snipe from, and just across the way, that building in the right there with the window open, that's another area where people snipe from. Kind of crossfire sniping, if you like, between building to building. Oh, that was nasty. And then you've got some areas out back here with these trucks and stuff. Not a lot of people tend to spend much time there, or at least they didn't during the beta anyway.
Too much hangs
Lots of cover areas. You can jump up on these areas that I'm next to here as well, which is quite cool. I got a few kills just from camping out on top, you know, having a quick rest, camping out on top, killing a few people, and then jumping into the next bit. So you get that thing pop up when your primary or special weapon's ready. You've powered it up enough. Takes a while to power up. I think the more kills and stuff you do, the quicker it powers up as well. So kind of you get the advantage in the event you're killing lots of things, that you get more powers up for that special ability. Hunted, definitely out of the maps that I saw, was, you know, the best of the choices of maps that I'd seen anyway while playing the game, that's for sure. And you've got this downstairs area, that's the building across the way I was saying about earlier where people tend to snipe from. Oh, not good. That was one hell of a jammy grenade there. Straight on the kill cam. Obviously the kill cam's as entertaining as ever. but I think this is released, I don't know, I presume it's probably a November release like they normally are. I mean, for me, I know on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 there is no campaign now. They're only going to release a multiplayer version of the game with zombies. I'm hoping that we get a reasonably substantial campaign in the next generation version for PS4 and Xbox One, because that's, I'll be honest, I do like the multiplayer in these games, but I generally don't spend a whole lot of time on it because it does take up an inordinate amount of time to get through these multiplayers and prestige and stuff. Probably the most I ever played was Modern Warfare 2, which I loved a bit, and I did prestige to level 10 in that, but all the other games I didn't spend as much time. So this is that underwater bit I was telling you about. Really, really impressive little bit this. I like this, quite like this water. You can shoot under here as well. Kind of got that wrong, just it's not as awkward as it looks there. You can go through, I just made a bit of a mistake. And then this brings you up in that bit of the building I was showing you earlier, with the snipe area to the left there. So a bit of a slow camp out, there's someone out here. There we go, excellent, nice kill. And then we've got plenty of people over there in that building. Quite a nice trophy cabinet there as well. Quite a lot of graphics and the details they've put into this. I have really thought about it. It does look really cool. Gunfire sounds and stuff, as you can hear, they all sound pretty impressive. And reasonably unique between guns as well, which is nice. I think the one thing that will be interesting in this game is how many more classes there are for you to unlock and play through. And obviously that's another reason to keep you prestiging. Oh, that must have been a snipe, yeah, as I said, that must have been a snipe shot. But there were a lot of single shot kills I found in this game. There were pistols that could insta-kill me, which is quite annoying. Things like a rocket you can understand, or a sniper rifle maybe. But there were a lot of weapons that kind of insta-killed me in milliseconds, or nanoseconds. And you kind of felt, you know, there's a bit of a BS kill if you like. I think there was a bit too much of that going on. That's what I fed back in the beta feedback that I provided anyway. Was that I felt that, you know, you did die quite quickly a bit too often, kind of took the fun out of the game in some respects. That said though, I think it's, you know, it's a sturdy game. It looked really good. The beta was really good. Didn't have any issues on the beta. You know, like I said, if you like Advanced Warfare, I'm pretty certain this is going to be right up your street. If you didn't like Advanced Warfare, you may not get on with it. As I said, because it does have that futuristic element to it, and you know, the exosuits and stuff. But anyway, I'll take the opportunity to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to rate and subscribe. I will be back with plenty of gaming action soon. Hope you found this beta kind of overview interesting to you if you didn't get a chance to play the beta. But, take care, keep watching.
Profit kill.